Okay, hello, Simone here from Loom, and today I will be showing you how to do Sully from Monsters University. Randall and Terry are already online, so you can check out those tutorials as well. Yeah, these are my pictures. I use these kind of pictures from the internet, just print a few of them and then try to design. Make my design as close to those pictures as I can. And I'm going to put it aside. What you need is a lot of turquoise bands, some purple, some black, and a few grey for his horns. And in this tutorial I'm going to use a darker turquoise bluish band for the nose, because it's actually not black, but yeah, I'm just going to try and see how it turns out. Well, this part of the tutorial will be his head, and you need one loom to make him, and most of all your turquoise bands. And let me see, most of it is 2 bands, so if I don't specify, just use 2 bands. And I'm gonna start by making the 2 diagonals on top, just like that. And then I come down 3 times on each side. 2, 3. Okay. So this is what you should have, and now we're coming in to the middle, so to the closing diagonals. And after that we will fill up the middle with 2 bands at a time. Okay. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to lay out 2 extensions. One will be on the sides and then another one towards the bottom. I'm going to do the sides first, and what we're going to do is just grab 2 more bands and place them from the 2nd to the 3rd pack on each side, and again on the pack below. And on the diagonal as well. Okay, now I'm going to do an extension from the bottom up that we will flap back like that later on. And I'm going to start on the 7th pack on the side. 2 bands. Coming up once, twice, and closing in the diagonal. So this is what you should have. I'm going to push these down a little. I'm going to do the other side as well. So going up twice and the diagonal, and then I come in from the middle as well. The 7th pack, I'm only going to use 2 bands right here in the middle. Okay, and now it's time to make our eyes, or nose, and or horns. And I'm going to make the horns first. The horns are actually grey bands. I'm using a dark grey, and you can just make them on your loom. You've got enough space down here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to double loop these bands. And place them right on a pack. Double loop a 2nd band. Come down. And yeah, and then I'm going to cap it off 4 times. And capping off just means creating 4 loops. Just like that. I'm going to do the same thing again because I need 2 horns. I'm just going to use the pack next to it. You only need 3 packs to do it. You should have enough space. 2 double loop bands in a row, and then 4 loops to cap it off with. 3, 4, and I'm just going to loom these up get them off and attach them to the top of his head right here. So just go through the hoops, grab the bottom bands and loop them onto themselves. You should have all teardrops. I'm going to take them off both at the same time. And as that, I'm going to place them on the top of my head on the 2 packs on the side. And he's got his little horns. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab some black bands. And I'm going to make his eyes. So I think I only need 2 blacks actually and 2 whites. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab 1 white, make 2 loops, leave some space in between and make 2 more loops. Then I'll take my black, and in that between space in the middle, I'm going to create 4 black loops. Alright, so you should have this 2 white loops, 4 black loops, 2 white loops on your hook. And I actually prefer my black to be on top. I discovered it's easier. But you could start with your black 4 and go in that order as well. It doesn't really matter, but I'm going to make another eye on my hook. So another 2 white loops and 2 white loops, so 4 in total. And grab my black and make 4 loops with it. That's 2. 3, 4. So here you go, 2 eyes on your hook. And now what I'm going to do is grab a single turquoise band, body color band. I'm going to place it on my hook, just like that. And I'm going to grab all the loops and slide them on there. So I start with my 2 whites, 4 black loops right here, another 2 whites. That's 1 eye, push it down. Next one. Like that. Now I'm going to attach it on these 2 packs, so the 2nd pack from the top on each side. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to try and separate the eyes, so push 1 to the right and 1 to the left. And then in between I go in right here. There are 2 bands. You got 1 from each, 1 going to each side. And I'm gonna go like in between those bands, just like that. Oh wow, I wanted to show you, but I'm putting it off. Let me fix that, I'm sorry. But anyway, what I'm doing is I'm taking 1 of those bands and put it over the 2nd pack in the middle. So 1 band is here, and 1 band is right there. And the eyes, 1 eye on each side. Now I'm gonna make his nose, and his nose we will attach right here as well, but straight on, so it will be here in the middle. And for his nose I'm gonna take 3 darker blue or darker turquoise bands. As said, right here I used black. You can use black as well, it doesn't really matter. I need 3 of them. Alright, and what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna take 2 bands and create 4 loops with them. And then I take a 3rd band and I'm gonna create 4 loops as well, but not neatly next to it, but just crossing over on top of it. So one on that side, one in the middle, one on the other side, and the last loop in the middle again. So there's 4 loops with that band, but they're just crossing over and everything to create a bit of a unorganized bulk, or I don't know. But anyway, I'm going to take one of my body color bands. It's only slightly lighter, so you don't really see a difference on camera, I think, but I can see it. And I'm going to take all those loops and just slide them over. Just like that. And now I can attach him on the same pack as the eyes. Just like that. There you go. There you have his nose. Now what we need to do is place some bands with which we are gonna attach him later. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna lay out 4 bands, one on his eye pack, on each side. Just like that. We are gonna use them to attach his head to his body later. But also one on the corners right here. And now what I'm going to do is attach some holding bands. I think, let me see if they are double looped. I think they were all single looped or half doubled. Let me just check. No, they're all single. Okay, what I'm going to do is I'm going to attach my holding bands. I'm going to start with the eyes right here, and I'm going to make a triangle. And once I do that, the bands that I lay down will probably stay there a bit easier. But as you can see, a triangle. I'm going to make a triangle here and a triangle there. Okay, and what I'm going to do now is the same thing, but a triangle facing down here. And just a single band on these 2 packs. So this is what you should have. Now, all there's left to do is create a capping band right here. So I'm going to push everything down, grab one more band, and cap this one off with 4 loops. Okay, now we have a lot of looming to do, and it's important we do it in the right order. What we're going to do is we're going to loom the bottom extension first, because that one is on top here. And I'm just going to go through the capping band and grab the top 2 bands, and I actually have to use my fingers to hold the capping band down. So I hope you can see, but otherwise just go in there and grab the top 2 bands that are your capping, that are going down, and I'm just gonna place them right back on top of themselves. Just like that. Okay, and I'm gonna continue down on the middle. Okay, so that one's done. Now I'm gonna go in through this capping band again, and I'm gonna take the next 2 bands. And for me, those are the ones coming to the left. And this is what I don't want to happen, my capping band to come off. Pull it straight back on. So use your fingers to hold your capping band down, because it comes off quite easily. Anyway, I loom to this side and I'm going to loom down. That's it, the last one. Go through the holding bands as well. Don't forget that. That's the one I need. Alright. Okay, so here you go. We've got 2 lines done. I'm going to do this side to the bottom. Going in through my capping band again. And if all's well, those 2 bands are on the top. And I grabbed the 3rd band. I should not do that. This one is going there. Let me just see which ones go where. This one is going there as well. And that one should be on the back. So I'm gonna continue down. Going in through the holding bands. Just gonna release some tension so my bands don't break. And here we go. So this is the first extension. We will loom him back later on, but first we are going to do the side extensions. Those are the diagonal and 2 bands up. And let me see, for me the diagonal going to the right is the first. It's the one on the top, so that's, I'm going to take those 2 bands. And now it's important that I do take the top 2 bands that go up. I leave the bottom 2 right here. For later, because I only want to loom the extended part, so the second layer basically. I'm going to take the top 2 that go up, and again I'm going to go through the holding band and take the top 2 bands, move them up. Once you have this extension done, you can actually take it off just like that. And I'm only taking it off at the bottom packs, so I leave this one right on there because we have to loom him in right later. But I took this one off and just laying it at the side. I'm going to do the same thing at the other side, so going in through my cap band, and right now it's already relatively easy because it's stretched to so many different sides and there's a lot of space now. But again, I'm looming and I'm just going to go in through that band, through the holding bands, and grab only the 2 bands that are on top. That's just one of them. I need to go in again to grab the other. And here as well, I'm going to go in and grab the top 2 bands. And I loom took that extension and I can take it off. So I'm just going to grab all the top bands that are on those 2 side packs and take them to the side. Now what you need to do is make sure your holding bands are still in a triangle. When you take it off, it could be like this or something, but you need to have them around all those 3 packs, and this one as well. So mine are still correct. But if yours like fell off like that, just place it back. So now what we can do is we are going to loom up his actual body to these 3 packs. The 2 that his eyes and his nose are on, and the one below his nose. So you can loom these 2 and the sides. Make sure you don't loom these extensions in, because if all's well, you've taken them off correctly like that. So I'm going to go in here, and my top 2 bands are my middle ones. I'm going to go up in the middle only twice. And stop right there, because here's where we got to attach this side. I'm going to go in here as well. Again, go in at the bottom. And take my top 2 bands, and for me, those are the ones going to the right. I'm gonna loop them right over. Now I can go in and grab the bottom bands that I laid on first, and go in once more through the holding bands, don't forget that, and I'm gonna loop till my eye pack. The last side I have to do. Right here. Okay, now they're the difficult bit. What I'm gonna do is I can take this side off. I want to place these loops right onto that pack, these loops onto that pack, onto this pack, sorry, below the nose, and these loops onto that pack. And once I do it, I can loom up. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna take this side off. Oh wait, I should take both bands. Sorry, I'm being a bit clumsy today. Okay, so I'm gonna take this off. I'm gonna take a little bit more off so I can stretch him like that. I'm just gonna place this side right on top. I should be able to do so. And I'm gonna leave these on so I can't lose any bands or it can't get loose. I'm just gonna go in here, grab the bottom two, pull them through. Don't pull too hard because they might break. I'm gonna release some tension, and there we go. This one is looped. So this one, my bottom extension, is looped in. Now I'm gonna do the other side first and the middle one last. So I'm gonna take this one off of all those 3 packs. Gonna stretch it all the way to the top, to the pack I wanted to touch to, the pack with the eye and the nose. Gonna go in, grab those bottom 2 bands, and just pull them right back onto themselves to create the teardrop. Now the middle one, I'm gonna place it below the nose on the pack where we stopped. And I'm gonna loom this one up as well, and this way they are well placed. Now what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna pull his nose through the band I just looped, or at least I want it to be placed in between those two sides of that loop. It makes it easier to pull him out later on. Now all there's left to do is loop these 3 bands up, and I'm gonna do the middle one first. So there we go, middle one is done. Now I'm gonna go in through the horns and grab these 2 bands and into this horn as well, grab these 2 and loop them up. Now all we have to do is tie him off with a slip knot right here. So what you do is go through all the bands with your hook, and I'm gonna take one of my body color bands, my turquoise, and I pull that band through just like that. I'm gonna attach the first end and just pull this one over, and you can pull it a little to start. And now if all's well, you can just take it off, it won't fall apart. And you just created Sully's hat. And just grab your slimmer again. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna push his nose and his eyes forward a little. Make sure they're in the right position. I think I kind of like the blue nose. Okay. Now these bands you will not see later on, because we're going to use those bands to attach him to his body. His head to his body later on. But what I want to do is I want to make his eyes a little less visible, so I'm going to just pull back them a little bit. Not too much, but just a little, so you basically see the black and just a twat of white, not too much. Okay, now one thing that is left to do is to create his mouth. And to create his mouth, I'm just going to take an old band that broke. I'm going to use black, but you can use brown or a very dark blue as well. But especially to show you, I'm going to use black because it's best. The best way to show you. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go through the back of his body and make sure my hook comes through at the spot where I want my mouth to begin, and for me that's around here, on his cheek. And I'm just going to grab my black band, pull it around, place it around my hook and pull it through. I'm going to make sure only one just like that. I'm going to make the long end on the front. Pull it back a bit. Alright, so here you go, we've attached it to one end of his head, and I'm going to do the other end as well. I'm just going to go in through the back, like that. Find a place that's about the opposite of the first place. I'm just going to pull the black band through. I lost it. I'm going to go in again. Because there's so many bands, it's quite easy that when you pull it through, you pull a couple of turquoise bands as well. But you really only want to pull the black band through. Anyway, once you've pulled both ends through, what you're gonna do is on the back go through a couple of bands. Usually go through a couple that are in the middle and just pull the black band through like that. To tie it off a little and just to hide it as well. So here for that side as well, I'm gonna go in, grab the black band, just pull it up, and you've created his mouth, just like on this one as well, and here with the blue nose. And while this was the first part of the tutorial, just go ahead and go into part 2. There I will show you how to make his belly, his tail, and probably his feet as well. So go ahead and check that out.